Welcome back to Eye on the Money, and today on the show we're discussing the importance of having a business mentor to help you successfully run your business. And with me in the studio to discuss all this is none other than Maxwell Gichuhi, and he's a business mentor and coach. Now Maxwell, before we took a break, you are explaining to us who a business mentor is, what they do. As a business, why should you should even consider onboarding them. Now I would like to talk about the reality on the ground, particularly in Kenya. I mean, globally, we're all slowly coming out of a pandemic. I can't say we're fully out of it, but we're slowly coming out of a pandemic, and we know the kind of impact it's had on businesses, from closures to layoffs to just stifling almost everything. So, and as a result of that, a lot of people have looked to, and people have lost so many jobs along the way. People need to survive, and a lot of people are looking to entrepreneurship to do this. What's the place of a mentor in this, particularly from lessons learned through this pandemic, and also for people who are looking to get into this space right now? Where does the mentor fit in?
Fantastic. Ingrid, I think one of the challenges that people are facing right now, you've been laid off, you want to start a business.
Right.
So the first question is which one? Then, like you're saying, maybe I need to do something I'm passionate about, I need to do something that I'm good about. And for me, that's a myth. Okay, because there are people who've started business in a field they had no clue about. Right. So for me, the first place to begin is to look for these senior mentors, these people who have been in this field, entrepreneurship field, for quite a while, and they've been robust. Because once I go to them and say, you know, I want to do business, then they'll ask you which one. Then I can say maybe I have no idea, or I'll say I have 5 ideas. Then they will take you through one by one, through your ideas. Then they will say, why do you want to do this? How do you think you're going to get this? Because some of the ideas probably I have are also mythical, they are utopian, right. They might not exist.
They're not realistic.
They are not realistic, right? And sometimes what we think, because maybe I saw on Instagram, people doing this are doing very well. Then they will bring you again, ground you again, and tell you, no, that's not the point, okay? So this is where we're going to start. Then they will tell you what you need to do in terms of the non-tangible assets. You need to be hardworking. You need to be consistent. And like you are saying, people say business will, you know, drain you, right. Everything, you know, all the disadvantages. But people forget that as this company grows, I am also growing. And one of the best things that happens to an entrepreneur for me is what we become in the process. You know, we talk about character development in social media, but this is a proper character development. Right. You get to know how to deal with people because you're running your own business. And like I said, maybe you came from an industry where you're thriving in the technical department. So you say, you know, I had these 20 clients. When I move out, they'll follow me. Then shock on you because you didn't understand that a business consists of brand, right, and other things. So they will tell you, no, all those people will not follow you. You might be lucky if you get 2 or 3. But how are you going to build your business? Are you going to stay in, you know, when there are storms? Are you going to follow your vision when it seems like nothing is possible? So for me, this moment is key because these people have an opportunity to do what they've always desired to do. Cast out fear, all right? Because maybe we have no option. So that's a good thing. So cast away that fear and step on board. And then decide to do what you've always desired to do. So let's approach these mentors at the inception so that we can start right. Because some of us get to enjoy the services of these mentors when it's a tad bit too late, right? So we've lost some money, lost some relationships, you know. But if we can start it at inception, that would be great for us. And like I said, mentors are available. Mentors are available.
Now, even as we're talking about the kind of value that a mentor can bring on board, and you talk about the immense experience, you know, them having had a lot of time in the field so they know what they're talking about, a very, very important thing for any entrepreneur is networks.
Absolutely.
How does a mentor come into this? Or is it not automatic that just because someone is mentoring you, then they automatically have to also help you out in connecting you to the right people? Is it something that as a business mentor, I can benefit from a business mentor?
You will benefit. I have benefited from mentors. For example, the time I joined a membership club, it's one of my mentors who told me, Maxwell, you know, join a club. I said, it's too expensive to join a club. Right. Then he said, you know, Maxwell, you have a card. Sometimes you want to entertain a client, you don't have that money. You can invite them to your club, which everyone would love to, right? And, you know, get to buy for them lunch and you'll pay for it later. So again, these mentors will help you in network. The second thing he told me is you get to interact with people who are in your field, who will think differently from you and change the way sometimes you could have been obstinate on a particular area. Once you get to talk to these people, you know, and they will open up, because Ingrid is the one who's introducing me. So that opens up conversation and the network. And then you get to see ideas from their perspective. They have nothing to lose. They'll tell you the truth as it is. And of course, that helps propel your organization or your business to the next level. Yeah.
And I'm so glad you've brought about a point where you said your mentor recommended something because he knew it was going to be good for you, but you were worried about the cost implication.
Yes.
And that's a big fear with a lot of entrepreneurs.
Oh, yeah.
You've already sunk everything, your whole life into this business. Now you're asking me to also consider someone on the outside. So when we're thinking about the cost implication of getting a business mentor, what does that look like? Because an entrepreneur, I want to know.
Yes.
Or because it's someone that I know or it's someone that I trust, is it free? What does that look like on that front?
Right. So, in fact, there are some instances, Ingrid, you're running a company, you'd have to bring this person on board and pay them, you know, some allowance, maybe some fuel allowance, maybe it's coming from Mombasa, you know. So there will be sometimes a cost incurred. So that's very critical. Then number two, of course, when you're starting business, we think, I don't want to spend money, I just want to make money. So maybe I came from an employment background where, you know, you're not making the decision on spending, you're making the decision on, on giving money, but decision on spending it. Now here you are as an entrepreneur, you need to learn that I need to spend money to get value. I need to spend money to make more money. Right. So there's a lot of paradigm shift that takes place because from the angle, and there's a book that I really like, it's called The E-Myth. You know, and sometimes even these books will become our mentors. You know, and he was saying, and he brings out that aspect where I was so successful in my department or in my area of profession, and you know, people would sing your praises because you're so good. And then you think, now today if I go, I've been baking cakes at your bakery or your pastry shop, and you know, people talk about how good I am, and I think if I go out and start that business, everything will be smooth. Then you realize there's administration, there's marketing, there's management, there's finance, there's HR, and all those other things that accompany your business. Then you've started and you're good at what you are good at, but you realize that's not enough. And that's why, again, we need mentors. So there is an aspect that we have to spend, because I always say, look at the value this person is bringing. Right. Ingrid, someone who has 50, 60 years experience in business, this person, that experience, if they were to charge you, we would talk about millions.
I agree.
And it is sometimes one sentence. Those guys will just give you one sentence and everything in your business turns around. Yes.
Finally, Maxwell, before I let you go, for our audience back home that has listened to your tidbits, your nuggets of wisdom, they're convinced, they're like, okay, you know what? I'm going to finally get this business mentor because I want to get my business up and running. What would be your final take home? If nothing else from this conversation, what would be your advice on someone who's looking into a mentor and the kind of value they'll get?
Fantastic. So the first thing I would say is first understand what you want to do. Have your vision. It might not be perfect, but please know where you're going, because no mentor will work with someone who does not know where they're going. Once you've decided this is where I want to go, right, you can have some few milestones that you would want to achieve on the way. Then begin by looking for a mentor, especially in the field you want to engage in. For example, if you want to do film, get into the film industry, look for people who've been in that industry, right, and tell them this is a vision that I have. How do I start? How do I take it off the ground? Secondly, you might be looking for capital, or you're looking for how to market the product. You can get someone who is good in that particular field and tell them, I have this idea and I know what I want to do. But the only challenge I'm facing, the greatest challenge in my business, is how to market this product, how to create awareness in the market, right? So that they can mentor and guide you in that particular field. But it would be important, it will be essential if we can get an overall mentor, because sometimes it's this mentor who will refer a mentor in a particular field. For example, my former boss is the one who told me, now to market, go and see this person. They will train you in the art of marketing, how to package it properly and how to present yourself in different organizations. Yes.
Maxwell, thank you so much for making the time to come to talk to us here today about the importance of a business mentor in running a successful business. I'm sure the audience back home has got a lot of valuable feedback.
Absolutely.
That's where we wrap it up today on Eye on the Money. Thank you very much for watching, but don't go anywhere because we have a lot more amazing content coming your way right here on Metropole TV.